Welcome, brothers. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you're free to pick up the ball and bowl. We never have a subject matter. We speak about any issues, politics, religion, socioeconomic issues trending, regional and international. This morning, we want to call on CARICOM leaders. Doing nothing is not an option. You're giving the impression to your peoples in the Caribbean that you want a zone of peace. There is an impasse existing between the United States and Venezuela. An impasse that is growing daily. There is no known moderator. So I call on CARICOM leaders, because of the consequences of war, because of the economic significance and the geopolitical fallout, that you should have a negotiating team to negotiate between and the United States of America. You are dealing with an individual who very unorthodox in approach, but have a history of wanting to make a deal. There is enough empirical evidence and information there that Donald Trump will make a deal. Negotiate with Venezuela to accept the maritime and land boundaries as prescribed by the International Court, to facilitate the process of coming to a settlement with the maritime boundaries with Dominica and Trinidad, and to continue to collaborate with the United States on its demand of narco terrorists, while you lobby Washington to back off and reduce the tension in the Caribbean. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. All leaders must bury their ego. All leaders must prepare to negotiate and come up with answers. Doing nothing is not an option. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, I don't know who heads CARICOM now, meeting, choose the most favorable among you and negotiate with Donald Trump. If the impasse continue, there will be war. And when war takes place, the Caribbean countries are likely to benefit, are likely to be affected the most. We have no guns to fire. We don't have no drones to fire. We will be like sitting ducks. More Caribbean countries will be aligned to the United States. Jamaica will be aligned. Barbados is going to shift the position and be aligned. St. Lucia going to shift the position and be aligned with Trinidad. Well, Grenada is a big bajan. If you touch Nicaragua, you touch Cuba, you touch Grenada. But the consequences for CARICOM will be long-lasting and devastating. So I plead with the leaders of CARICOM. In times of disaster, you know, leaders. This is a question of negotiating with a man who wants to make a deal. Donald Trump wants to make a deal. But if there is no one mediating and negotiating and asking for a deal, Donald Trump won't back down. So I plead with CARICOM leaders this morning, or those who have any clout with them, encourage them to send a delegation to Washington and then send a delegation to Venezuela, because now you might have to get permission from Washington to go in Venezuela. because Washington is threatening the airspace over Venezuela. Doing nothing is not an option. Now the second point I have while I wait your phone call. Culture man, you told us you lost your bull cow. You did not tell us if you get it. Call us and tell us something. Yes, caller, welcome. You have a caller there? We lost that caller. Culture man is important because you brought the message on the media. Yes, caller.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, caller, welcome.
How you do?
Great, man.
Good. Mr. Pierre, why, if you look at CARICOM, well, we the people of the region then, right? We suffer slavery, right? Okay, you are accustomed saying, okay, the black man sold his brother into slavery years before the white man came into Africa. All right. That may be history then. Oh, that is history. Okay. But what I'm saying, why up to this day, look at, we still can't, we have people at the region, we have CARICOM, and we still can't speak with one voice. We still can't unite.
We hesitant. You see?
No. Listen, but look, Haiti is part of us. Haiti is our brothers and sisters. We just neglect Haiti bluntly, Why? In heavens, under the sun, just why? Haiti was the most developed country of the Western Hemisphere. France played a critical role in marching up Haiti. Up to today, we just neglect this country, our brothers and sisters that is there, and we just, CARICOM just neglect these people and just like that man. Why?
Because
listen to me. And when we do that, we expect togetherness, we expect peace, we expect harmony. It's not going to happen. Well, listen. It just would not happen. It cannot happen. It's our brothers and it's there, and we just bluntly neglect these people. The next thing I want to say, you ready?
Yeah.
We talk about we talk about human and everything. Okay, yeah. I think yesterday you mentioned there is no peace without justice.
Peace and justice have to work together.
Right. But Mr. Pierre, with due respect to you and to all the listeners and to everybody, we have seen in the world, right? We have seen in the world in the past, well, maybe 50 years, 100 years, maybe not as much as 100 years, but 40, 50, 60 years going back, or even just a little more. All what stood up for Mr. Pierre, all what stood up for justice and human dignity has been. Just to name a few: the Martin Luther, the Nelson Mandela, the Hoodie. Just name them. All the people who have stood up for justice, who have stood up for what is right. No, Mr. Pierre, when we are going to school, they teach us to stand up for what is right and what is good and what is proper, do what is right, do what is good, respect people, and later when we doing as we are told, right? We've been persecuted for it. What kind of world are we in, Mr. Pierre? What sort of world are we in? And listen, and nobody cannot dispute what I'm saying. No. These things are facts, It's not. I just talk, blood by my mouth and thing. These things are facts, So
the question is now, what do we do? And that is where we are faulty. We're spending a lot of time walking around with the problem and not the solution. That is why I'm saying this morning, United States and Venezuela have an impasse. When you have an impasse, if no one intervenes, then you're going to fight or somebody going to destroy one another. So CARICOM, because to lose, they should intervene and offer to negotiate between Venezuela and United States. And Donald Trump, although a very unorthodox politician, have a history of wanting to make a deal. So that is why I suggested all the pointers. If Guyana, if Venezuela will accept the international court results for Guyana, and Venezuela agree to end up in negotiation with Trinidad and Dominica and Grenada over boundaries, maritime boundaries, and Venezuela will continue to work with the United States over narco terrorists, that will sound very powerful, and that might force Donald Trump to back down. I believe in answers. Every time we have a discussion, we must come up with solution.
Well, of course.
Black people must not be walking around with a briefcase, a certificate, and a bag of problem.
Well, of course not.
Yes, caller. Thank you.
Of course. What? You there?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. No problem.
And I always like to reference. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
And I have to agree with you on this one. We both share the same line of thought as it relates to Culturman. Only this morning, Mr. Pierre hold Culturman on a new, and Culturman was speaking so much about the NDC right in Telescope on the 23rd. And he had so much nice things to say. Fine, that is him. And what came to my mind, I said, Culturman was on the radio the other day speaking about his cow that was lost. And up to now, Culturman they come back and say anything as it relates to his cow, whether he find the cow, whether whatever the case may be, that is not nice of Culturman, because I myself, Mr. Play, empathize with Culturman. I said, Brianna, I'm not for speaking, and I said, that's how it is. We're about to have our own political party, but in the case of Culturman, he works hard. And he's wearing his animals, and it is not nice for him to go and take his cow. And up to the Culturman, come and say nothing about cow.
Yes, you have to tell us whether he get the cow or they thief the cow. Because he gave us the impression they thief the cow.
You have to tell us about the cow, come on, man.
Yeah. So I expect you're going to call today.
Empathize with you and you don't have nothing to say about the cow. Come on, Culturman, that is not nice of you. That is not nice of you.
Maybe you forgot, so you called today.
Mr. Pierre, have a good day.
Thank you. I forgot to ask him. I know who's me bull cow. I get it quiet by Miss Maypui's land. Because Miss Maypui's had a female at Curvin and the bull gone. So sometimes when you lose your bull cow, it doesn't mean they thief it. Sometimes a female, it pick up the pheromones of the female and it break the rope and gone. So Culturman, call us and tell us, what is the status of your bull cow now? You can't continue because you came on the air publicly, so we have to know publicly if you get the cow or if the cow is still missing. Quicker, you tell us better. You have a call on the line? Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother.
And good afternoon to the rest of the nation.
Yeah.
I believe Culturman get the cow.
Something.
And I believe it was not thief, so he shame.
Well, you have to shame. You just say get the cow, they let you go.
He shame to say it.
Because he said it right way, the same lot make tree, don't go and fix up this up.
Yeah. Because this morning he was very vocal and in giving the advice to the NBC and advising that they're doing very well.
Right.
So I thought you would remember.
You have to tell me about the bull cow.
Yeah. Mr. P, I'm concerned tomorrow we'll be having the rebuttal of the budget by the
opposition
leader. I will hope, first of all, that she is given a clear chance to go through and not, as the gentleman was not disturbed, that the presentation of the budget was not disturbed. So I'm hoping that she gets there too. And I'm hoping that also that some of the questions that the opposition have, they ask to give them in writing. I hope that they'll be getting it in writing and that they'll answer the question. I also hope that the person that we get proper better explanation on the inside of the budget, because my concern is a lot of things that I can't get into the nitty of the budget, but a lot of things that was supposed to take place, the 2000 with the present budget, have not taken place. Right? For instance, Pierre roads and whatnot that that were carded for had not never done and whatnot. So we no want to know what these monies, where these monies went, or if these money was utilized in other areas, because they were monies booked for different things. For instance, the building back better, the houses and whatnot. Money was budget for these places, and we don't see these jobs done. So we have to tell us what areas those money was spent. I would like to know that what areas the monies that was supposed to spend on certain projects, they only we were supposed to build. They were supposed to build some houses and build back better, and they only on about 16 and 17 there, and they're not complaints. So where the funds are, so I'm hoping that they will answer those questions. So let's
Thank you, Color.
listen to the debate and
Yeah.
see what comes out of it.
But I have a lot of hope you might end up in Maki.
Well, I'm hoping to not to end up in Maki.
It's good to hope. Maki,
I'm hoping to stay in hope.
you know that's the first town in St. Andrews.
I hope so.
Yeah, so you're not a bad place if you end up in Maki.
Yeah, but I'm hoping to stay in
Yeah. Yes.
it's a cause of concern.
Yeah.
And I really think that we should answer the questions, you know.
But the opposition have been asking questions, but they have not been answering.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they're not giving information. And people like the photogenic journalists and the doctor of journalists, they're not asking them questions when they meet them.
Trade unions are very, very...
Well, the trade union seems to be part of the agent on the ground.
I'm concerned. I don't mind the government will make mistakes.
Of
Will have
course,
things
of
that
course.
they didn't do. But come out and tell us directly, you know. And this hiding behind cloud, I think it should come out.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Thank you.
So I was going to address three matters while I wait on... Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, yes, my brother. You have the swing ball today. Today you're swinging. You have the new ball. You don't get the first time. But you were like Bonner Julian.
All the time.
You know Bonner Julian was a great swinger of the ball.
I agree. Your time you have to take it along.
You have to swing, yeah.
I want to take my time and speak to Grenadians. You know, I have been saying it over and over and again that the National Democratic Congress take lie as their policy. So some people take it as a joke. But the reality is there to show now, even in a nation budget, they choose to lie. And almost every... So what I'm saying is that this government have no respect for the people of Grenada. I believe this government is just whooping. That government scrambling. They don't know what they're about. They give you lie in almost every area. Like even the unemployment rate in this country, they give you a lie figure. This is not a good thing. So I want to ask Grenadians who have the time, tomorrow please come to hear our political leader of the opposition, respond to a nation budget because this is important. This is for our own good. Who have the time, come and hear. Who have else to hear? The Snellhall Bridge. We're looking to hear the cost of the Snellhall Bridge under construction. All we heard is the widening of the Snellhall Bridge, and they're gone with no cost of what this bridge is costing us. They don't even mention it as a new project. Something have to be wrong. Grenadians, people of St. Patrick and all the surrounding areas, take note. This government is forcing to run this country just to stay into power. It is too clear to see. And I have no objection in saying it. And I will keep advocating to my people. We need a replacement for this government. We don't want, we need. We need it.
Well, you have an opportunity in the next.
I rest my
yeah.
I rest my.
And while you're on that, my third statement was addressing KJ. KJ, you have to give me a call today. But listen to what I say first. You claim that Deacon was a statement. And I'm asking if you made that statement or you considered the following. That the man who you claim was a statement have a minister of foreign affairs, but he is traveling more than the minister of foreign affairs. That Deacon Mitchell is sneaking in Nigeria, in one of the states, and had to be publicly chastised by the governor of Lagos State in the presence of his children. That Deacon Mitchell took issue with a Catholic priest who read a document, and Deacon didn't read the document, but he still, in the most untactful and undiplomatic manner, took issue with the priest. That Deacon made statements about Liat and the Prime Minister of Dominica, not Dominica, Antigua, had to publicly take issue with him. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
You know, we have a serious problem going around in this country, and I don't think I hear anybody mention it. Maybe it's been mentioned, but I don't hear nobody mention it. That's foot and mouth disease. Our children will be catching that thing. It's going wrong, and our preschool and our daycares are closed down. And our youngest minds are being affected. They can't go to school. And I seem to believe that the Ministry of Health don't even know how to handle that. It's a pandemic in Grenada right now. I spoke to somebody yesterday in St. George's, and it seems to be rampant in St. George's also, in the countryside also. So I'm not saying that it's island-wide, somehow disease. Pandemic in this country right now. Our young minds, just imagine you have a child and inside the mouth is busting up, the skin is busting up, they're not eating. You need to have these things have to be seriously attended to. I look it up online and I realize that you have to take the same kind of measure as COVID. The hands washing and the sanitizer of the place and stuff like that. I seem like keeping it on the wrap. There's a real serious issue in this country right now because most of our daycares and our preschools are closed because of that issue right now. And nobody's talking about that. It's like under the wrap. And our children, our young minds, Little babies, 1, 2 years, 3 years, they are sick. The skin is busting, the mouth is, you can't eat. It's a serious problem. So I would like the Ministry of Health to make that public and give a solution. The parents who don't know how to handle that, tell them what to do, and come out and speak. Have a nice day, sir.
And that is the challenge that we have. And I said that the NDC is like a recurring infectious disease. Every time they come, they get worse and they're harder to treat. During COVID-19, NDC was not supportive of the government policy, the measures that the government was implementing to manage COVID-19. So they went around encouraging people not to obey the government, not to take vaccine. Today, some of the measures that they have to take to control foot and mouth disease are some of the very measures that they had to take in COVID-19. So they prefer to stay silent. There are instances where school closed down, I heard, because of foot and mouth disease. Some classes was suspended. So there is a rise in foot and mouth, and there is also a rise in STDs in our country, and the Ministry of Health is silent. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I love enjoying your program very much. Last week I heard you were talking concerning about parents. And I have a situation right now with the mother leaving her 2 children home and going on party and have a good time. And the grandmother or the grandparents have to look after the children. Can you just give me a little up on that, please? Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
I did some program and I said, women in Grenada. I have issues that I believe our women in Grenada are not hungry enough for education. But also I'm cognizant of the fact that we have much more women today involved in the security area. That is one of the areas that have provided. We have a call on the line? We have a call on the line? Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good evening. You look up on the budget.
Yeah, I've been making some. You see, I prefer to speak in detail about the budget more. But let me say that on the budget.
Well, listen to me, Mr. Pierre. The spending of the traveling, I don't think is in the budget.
Yes, it will be.
The things for youth, the program for youth, it is in the budget. The 2022, the 2023 budget, nothing didn't do for 2022 and 2023. 2024 come budget read, and I didn't see anything. In the middle of this year, they say they're doing work, things happening. Mr. Pierre, when 2022, 2023, 2024, 2020 budget read, and nothing to do with budget. Only what the budget do is for traveling. So I want to hear what Ms. Pierre is saying tomorrow, please God, about the budget. That's only way, because if you cannot tell me, I'll listen to Ms. Pierre tomorrow, please.
All right, thank you. That is the best thing to do. But the budget is an estimate of income and expenditure. So it's not fair to say nothing do. Because the budget would say, the budget would indicate that all the public officers was paid, the hospital running, and all these things are part of the income and expenditure. Sometimes when you hear the budget is about agriculture, almost all the money is about the paying staff, operating the system, and etc. It's like you have a budget at your own home. Based upon the income you have $5,000 coming in inside your home, between you and your spouse and some of the neighbors that might contribute assistance to you. So you're going to take a paper and mark down how much you spend on electricity, telephone, water, transport, how much you like to spend on food, entertainment, telephone, these things. So all these things is part of the budget and estimates. Sometimes money in savings. Sometimes you have to go in the bank and take out what you save for Siankatuka. Sometimes you might have to sell the pig in the house this year to get money for Christmas. Sometimes things so bad you have to sell a piece of land. So it's almost similar with the budget for government. So we can't say nothing has not been accomplished. What we look for in the budget is that we're able to grow the economy. That is a very important thing. That you're able to service the debt. The money that you lend, that you're able to. So if you owe the shop and they expect you to pay them in January and you don't pay them, you may not get credit again. It's the same thing with government. And the budget must give you hope. The children must expect things will be better. During 2026, mommy going to buy a fridge. And mommy will be able to pay for me to go and take guitar lessons. Because all the neighbor children taking music and I sit down home, cocoa jane and pie because no money. Budget in the country is something like the budget in your home. Obviously, the country budget will be a little bit more complicated because they have more facets and issues. But if the opposition leader would go quite a lot into the estimates, because what the Minister of Finance give is a kind of a synopsis, a sum up of the highlights of the estimates and expenditure. But it's good for people to continue to listen and always see the budget with the government. Your budget in your house might be a small version, but it's something similar to that. So we can't say nothing was done because money had to be budgeted for current expenditure. Money had to be budgeted to pay salary and to fix road and to pay the United Nations and other issues. What you're looking for is economic growth, for hope, for the people unemployed, for the people in the lower income group. You all that. And for government to strengthen the savings and not to sell the family silver. Yeah? The number to call is 4420175. And I was on the issue with KJ because KJ said Deacon was a statesman. I had listed, and I'll continue pointing out. When KJ made that statement, maybe he wasn't aware that Deacon stand on a stage in front of thousands of people and use obscene language and incited people to curse. KJ, you was not aware yet that Deacon violated the regulation of the Grenada Development Bank and provide illegal money. Since they violated the regulation, the money was illegal. They don't supposed to take it. And ministers, directors, and other high-ranking EC got money. KJ, maybe you were not aware that Deacon benefit, his company or him, was involved in selling passports. He and a number of other high-ranking individuals of the NDC. I understand Peter David joined the cabal now, selling passports. I take the strongest objection to that. As a serious member of the parliament, Peter David should not be an agent selling passport. And if Peter David is selling passport, Peter David have to be man enough to tell us what me deal that he make with Deacon. So KJ, maybe he wasn't aware that Deacon went in a public meeting and consider the only reason why other people getting assistance because they don't know who the real NDC is. KJ, do you believe if a politician consider some Grenadians as classless and commoners and beggy and culturally literates, how would you consider that individual as a statement? KJ, if you have a foreign minister and you're traveling extensively and you're not giving anybody account of where you go and why you go there, KJ, how could you consider that individual as a statesman? KJ, if the United States of America write you a letter asking your permission to put a radar or whatever on your port, and you're not even man enough to answer, and for months you kept it secret, or let go, KJ, knowing all what I have said today, do you still consider Deacon a statesman? KJ, if it is a fact that Deacon incited violence by making a social media movie with weed in front of the police present and diluting the significance of the police, KJ, do you still consider Deacon as an honorable man? Yes, caller, welcome. You have a caller? KJ, I think it's important for you to respond. Culture man, give us a call. You have to tell us about the bull cow. We can't go on believing somebody steal your cow and you get the cow. If you get it, just tell us, I get it. And if you ain't get it, tell us you ain't get it. We could make things better. I firmly believe that we could do better. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yes, there is one very important point I think you forgot, and that's what kind of statesman, rather than making laws to protect the children of the nation, are trying to make laws so that predators could exploit little girls and little boys. 12-year-old given permission to have, you know what it is.
Drop this CV. Yes, sir. Yeah. KJ, that is a very, very important point. I didn't remember. KJ, call us now and tell us, knowing what you know now, based upon the information that we provide for you, do you still consider Deacon man or bandit? Which one? You want to drop the age of civil responsibility? Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. You have it on the background, you listen. You hearing it? Yeah, you gone? All right. Call again, caller. Just, I know how it is. People still want to hear what you're saying, and sometimes you're close to the radio and you get KJ important. Claim to be a powerful, experienced media individual. We're very glad you're calling. We cannot get the photogenic one to ask Deacon question. The writers, they're making a whole question. So we cherish and welcome your comments. So call us and tell us, based upon the empirical evidence we present to you, do you still consider Deacon a statesman or a bandit? I think it's important. I believe that if we are the custodians of the democracy, and if we remind our people to walk the straight and narrow, they will. We have to remind them, because man is weak, you know. They say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. We fall prey to temptation. So our friends and colleagues and supporters have to remind us to walk the straight and narrow. You hear me calling on Richard Duncan. Deacon is a political neophyte, but Richard Duncan is an experienced individual. And whereas sometime I'll be very soft on Deacon and even forgive him for some of the mistakes he made. But Richard Duncan supposed to summon Deacon and say you cannot do that. Let me give you one instance. Richard Duncan walked the straight and narrow as far as we're concerned when he was a public officer. So how Richard Duncan could accept that Deacon put pressure on the Public Service Commission, yield to the pressure from Deacon Mitchell to force Tafawa out of his job. They had not one blemish on the individual in his 34 years working in the police force. The reason they gave that he have to leave the police force is because his wife leads a political party. I have never heard that in my band life. I would have loved to hear Richard Duncan public position on it. You see Richard Duncan in a position to speak on that. He challenged government already on a point of principle. And Richard Duncan, I put him in the same category with Pamela Steele and Gloria Payne Banfield and Meryl Forsyth and Miss Isaac. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you?
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Right. Why it is you encouraging KJ to call your program? When I heard recently Andre Donald mention that he would go to the police for KJ. You know, because
caller. Two different stories.
Yes, no, listen.
Caller, listen.
No, radio station.
You don't listen. This is on-target program.
Yes, I know.
And I welcome callers. You don't have to agree with me, caller, on the program. And once you're not disrespectful, I welcome you. And I ask question.
Yeah, but listen to me. Listen to me. Give me 1 second, please. KJ was not disrespectful to us.
Caller, you don't listen to me.
Okay, Mr. Pierre, go ahead, brother.
This is on-target program.
Yeah, I know.
And you have to respect that. And I do not speak on a particular subject matter. I take call from anybody. And KJ said Deacon was a statesman. So I'm assuming he did not have this empirical evidence and information about Deacon.
To prove.
So now I'm asking him to call me. Now that I tell you that. I don't know if he had time to find out if it's true. But now that I tell you that, do you still believe Deacon is a statesman or a bandit?
Okay.
Yes, caller, thank you.
No, listen to me, I finished.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that sometime, I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks back, you were on the Friday morning program. Yeah? The extension. You there?
Yes, I listen to you.
Right. And Andre Donald and you was in the program, and there's a gentleman, he normally call your program regularly. I listen to him. Sometimes he correct, sometimes he may not have the fact at hand. And you know who it is? Mr. Pierre, you know who it is, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Go ahead, I can't.
Right. And Mr. Donald cut him up.
Caller.
And you was on the program.
Caller.
I look at that.
Caller.
Yeah.
You're not listening to what I tell you.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, but you see,
respond.
You don't listen to what I'm telling you.
So you listen to your program.
But you don't listen. And that's important, you know. If you don't listen, you'll get it wrong.
Okay.
On Target is my program.
But you was on the
Color, you
program.
don't listen.
So that means the caller could have been speaking with to you.
Thank you, Color. Thank you very much.
You see the ignorance?
It's difficult. Sometimes you have programs that I call on and make a contribution in the program. On Target is a program we run for all, and we encourage people to call. And sometimes I say you could just call and say you don't agree with me. And then I have the Studio Galaxy program with the Galaxy Equalizers. This program is principally done on Saturday. Yes, caller, welcome.
Comrade.
Yes,
Comrade, for a very long time, I hadn't called this program.
Yes, caller.
And the only thing me and you in disagreement with, in our religious connotation in terms of God and so forth. But we're not talking about that now. But you see, I listen to everybody. And the opinion sometimes, some of them, they don't understand the basic what they're speaking, where they're speaking from. But I call to give my comment, Eminent Pierre, a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. And that's our future leader in Grenada, Caribbean, picking Martinique. You know, you have certain people went up in my homeland. Although I'm a citizen of this blessed land where I'm living right now, in my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. You understand? And I become a Emlyn. Certain people, they don't marginalize me. They say, I go suffer, I go see trouble, I go see this, I go see that, because, you know, I cross the borderline. But, Mr. Pierre, one day I have to pass up by.
Yes.
I'm a senior citizen. I come by you already, long ago. A partner of mine did bring me up there. We used to call them GCB. We used to use a word called GCB. You understand?
Yeah.
And we came up by all your company. And I'm not a GCB, you know.
I know.
Because I born in St. Vincent land. You hear me? Involved with these people who say they work hard for the money in the cool. You know? And don't tell them that they're wrong, you know, because they work hard and they go under all kind of different things.
Yes, they
you
do.
always use a word. Every word is used that we own black man sell us, we own people to slavery. Yes, Ola? I will call you again. I don't want to take all the time of the airwave.
Yes,
I want to wish you come at MMP that in the future Prime Minister in this country and the first woman going to be.
Thank you, caller. Yeah.
All right, comrade. Blessing.
And that is about 100 years after women in Grenada was franchised. United States is about 110. And it's about 100 years since United States was franchised. And when you're referring to Emlyn Pierre, you have seen her political growth. She entered the politics very relatively young because based upon what she was involved for, the politician became attracted to her, involving young people, and move up the slate in the politics for over 20 years. So I think she's in through the lines, a seasoned individual. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
For the gentleman who seems to didn't understand, you are saying that your program is totally different to Andre Donald's program. Andre Donald is saying that he doesn't want the gentleman and his program. You are saying that you welcome him. No conflict there. Andre Donald doesn't want him and his station when he's hosting a program. When you are hosting a program, you accommodate the gentleman. I think that's the point you are making to the gentleman, and the gentleman should understand that.
Sometimes we have to have a lot of patience and tolerance,
Yeah,
because people, not everybody takes different time to assimilate and digest.
Yeah, but when we don't understand,
yes, caller. Yeah,
we must let it do.
Yes,
I don't support Mr. Andre Donald.
Caller, that has nothing to do with that.
For him.
Yeah.
matter for him.
Different circumstances,
Yes.
different situation.
Yes.
Yes, caller, thank you. We have the last caller? We have a caller on the line? No more. All right. We raised a news this morning, and one of them was CARICOM. I'm disappointed, and I would really like CARICOM to send a task force or a negotiator and negotiate the impasse with Venezuela and the Caribbean. I beg the leaders in CARICOM. We have the gentleman in St. Vincent that just win election. We have Pierre in St. Lucia, is Joseph Pierre, in St. Lucia, that have had the second term. You all are just easy enough. And Friday, you in politics long enough to initiate a new attitude in CARICOM. Encourage CARICOM to send a delegation and have discussion with Donald Trump and Maduro. I believe Donald Trump would welcome it. Based upon my studying of Donald Trump, he wants to make a deal. Donald Trump don't really concern too much about right and wrong and extreme. He feel you could make a deal and settle issue quickly. And KJ, maybe next time you call back because you don't have time now. But based upon all the things we're saying about Deacon, do you still consider he's a statesman? And Richard Duncan, the countries deteriorate because the people who command respect in the country shut them out. Grenada is going in a wrong direction. We are establishing corruption as a policy. What going on in the Grenada Development Bank, the National Lottery, Government Concrete, the Integrity Commission, the Public Service Commission, these things are unacceptable. We cannot have senior members of the ruling government party selling pass. We have been criticizing that for over the last 2.5 years. Now Peter David, who leads a political party, believe he qualified to go and sell passport too, because not enough people been speaking about it. That is wrong. Richard Duncan, no one is listening to the farmers from Maribor. Richard Duncan, they have been using the water, sharing the water with the agriculture station in Maribor for 26 years. The agriculture station does not increase the activity. Based from my knowledge, they reduce the quality. They reduce agricultural activity in Maribor. They use for water's drop. Richard Duncan, they don't have livestock anymore. And they cut off the water from the 22 farmers because one farmer, Richard, one, they claim it turned green. So they cut off the water from it. I appeal to you because of the great respect I have for you and a number of other prominent sectors. Number of them, a lot of them. Some of them name I cannot remember to call. But Pamela Steele, Gloria Payne Banfield, Miss Forsyth, Jeanette Dubois, Clarice Charles, all these high public officers. They will call individuals and correct them because they hear these individuals going wrong. Say, no, you can't be a public officer and doing that. So I know these people walk the straight and narrow. There are not much men in it. Lauriston Wilson was one. But I include Richard Duncan in it. So now that you are deeply involved with NDC, don't make us shame, Richard. Deacon is a political neophyte. He don't know better. You have to counsel them. What they're doing is wrong. They're destroying this country. They're fracturing this country. They're sowing the seeds of hate. Richard Duncan, you can let these things happen on your watch. We believe that if you, Deacon Mitchell would listen to you. Some of the things Deacon doing don't make no sense. Richard Duncan, if you have not read the Joseph paper, read it. The sister said when she realized Deacon Mitchell will be unleashed on the public, she felt obligated to warn the Grenadian public. Why this leader is lying so much on everything, he's telling lies? Something is wrong. And bearing in mind that he dabbled in the occult. No other leader in the history of Grenada that we know of dabbled in the occult. Deacon did that. It makes no sense that we're saying we didn't know him. It makes no sense. We cannot bury our head like ostrich. Deacon say morality is a private thing. He fired 31 workers in Grand Bay Estate. He found out that 19 of them was NDC. So he re-employed 20. These things is going to destroy our country. It's going to cause hate. When an individual loses his job, and other so-called friends, he perceive or he believe or is in his imagination that they're laughing at him, it's going to cause hate. We are a small country. Our interests. When we sow the seed of evil, our children reap the benefit. You have heard me call repeatedly on the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest. And I even call on the Minister of Agriculture over the Deborah Charles issue. Too much of widespread incidents all over the country of vengeance and gross victimization. So within the NDC hierarchy, I don't know the other people well. That is why, Richard Duncan, I call on you. Because you are deeply in bed, it seems, with this group. You have enough capacity. You have enough history. You have enough clout. I don't know what level of integrity left. But I do hope you have enough to engage them. Remember to share our program, like our program, subscribe to Real FM. Thank you very much.
When the clock hits 12, you know where to be. Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from men to